I'm Dick Broadhead. I'm the president of Duke. We're gathered here to advance the cause of active citizens service. This nation's challenges won't be helped by complaining of others' failures to address them. We need to turn our shared problems into our shared projects to which we can each contribute our engagement, our creativity, and our concern. We all know, and today is a powerful reminder, that service isn't a monopoly of the well-educated, but service does have a special place in higher education, and I see that place as approaching a decisive change. We all know people whose lives have been transformed by experiences they had in their youth or early adulthood that introduced them to humanity outside their known world and taught them their own power to help. And for over a century, service organizations have been big things on American university campuses. But service has typically been regarded as an extracurricular activity, something apart from education proper. Duke is working to promote real-world problem solving as an integral part of education and not a good work off to the side. Last year we launched a program called Duke Engage, in which we told our undergraduates, in addition to all the volunteer things you do, if you will find an intensive civil engagement that takes you out of the bubble of the university and puts your classroom learning to real-world use, then Duke will fund you anywhere in the world and support you with mentoring before you go, during, and after you return. This summer, in the first full year of the program, we already had 360 Duke students at over 100 service sites throughout the world, working with at-risk middle school students in Durham, staffing rebuilding projects in New Orleans, working on clean water projects in sub-Saharan Africa, and health and literacy projects in India, and sharing oral history skills learned during our own civil rights movement so that South African communities can preserve the memory of the struggle against apartheid. In coming weeks, our professional schools will be announcing related programs in business, public policy, and the environment that will carry the spirit and ethic of Duke Engage into a set of global partnerships. I have my own quote. I met a person once named Bernard Amadei. He's the founder of Engineers Without Borders, and he taught me a quote that's said to come from Einstein. It's this: "The significant problems that we face can't be solved at the same level of thinking we were at when we created them." If that is so, then it's funny, but it isn't funny. If that is so, then universities have a greater role than ever to play if they will embrace that role. Universities are places for innovating, understanding, and training young minds to wish to make a difference in the world. Through Duke Engage and other ventures, Duke is committed to applying the intellectual resources of a great university to creative problem solving in education, economics, healthcare, the environment, and the other great needs of our time. Thanks very much.
I am Scott Cowan, president of Tulane University in New Orleans. And I have to say, as an American, a New Orleanian, and a Tulanean, I'm incredibly proud to be here in this very important summit for society itself. In December of 2005, 3 months after Katrina, our university made two very significant commitments to public service. The first one was we became the first major research university in America to include public service as part of our core requirement for every single student at the university. At that same time, in December of 2005, we also created a significant scholarship program to award scholarships to incoming students from high school who had distinguished themselves in civic engagement in high school and before then. Every year, we have about 30 of those scholars who join our institution. And as part of that scholarship commitment, by the way, they have to make a commitment about what they will do for the world in order to qualify for it. These two commitments we made in 2005 have had an immense impact on Tulane University, its students, and most importantly, the New Orleans area. Last year alone, 5,491 students provided public service in New Orleans and around the world. This amounts to hundreds of hours of public service, and I am immensely proud of them. It has also transformed our university so that public service is not something we just talk about every other day. It is now part of our DNA. And I am here today to announce our third very significant commitment to public service. Tulane University is now committed to healing the New Orleans communities devastated by Hurricane Katrina by leading efforts to redesign the city's historically underperforming healthcare sector, which funneled the medically underserved to emergency rooms for primary care with scant neighborhoods-based options for healthcare itself. Tulane University started this year to dramatically expand access to high-quality community healthcare for all New Orleans citizens, regardless of socioeconomic status, by building on the successes of the safety net neighborhood health centers created in the aftermath of Katrina. These patient-centered medical homes will be a cornerstone for helping neighborhoods to recover and bring new resources to build innovative, replicable, and sustainable models of community care. By the way, in these neighborhood community health centers, we will also offer after-school literacy and job training programs, resources and services critical to rebuilding all of our neighborhoods. This commitment will offer our students yet another opportunity to work and train in these neighborhood health clinic sites, providing unprecedented university-wide service opportunities, all aimed at developing an aware and capable workforce to meet the challenges of low-income populations. Ultimately, we expect to develop a gold standard community health care and training model that can be successfully implemented by universities all over this country. When people ask me, why is it that Tulane University has made such significant commitments in the last 3 years, it is because we were a victim of a disaster, and we have witnessed firsthand what it means to serve. And therefore, as part of our mission as an institution, the mission to serve, and especially those who are in the greatest need, is an important part of who we are. Our other reason for doing it is very simply, higher education has the responsibility to lead the nation by setting an example. And I'm proud to join my colleagues today and others who are hopefully providing that example to provide the next generation of leadership of service to America. Thank you.
I'm Amy Gutman, and I'm president of the University of Pennsylvania. I'm really proud and honored to be able to be part of ServiceNation and join so many leaders from all across this country who are joining together to see what more change we can bring about. Now, I put this in a folder, so maybe Alicia would have sung it, but I know she's done her singing, and it's wonderful. I would like to tell you what Penn would like to do moving forward to build on our founder, Ben Franklin's belief that the great aim of education in a democracy is at the opposite extreme from the image of a university as an ivory tower. It is to foster in students an inclination joined with an ability to serve mankind, one's country, one's friends, and family. Penn has long been committed to this goal. We put together what we call a social compact. We call it the Penn Compact, and it expresses our highest aspirations for higher education, and our commitment as Penn to engage our students locally and globally. Through Penn's Fox Leadership Program, our students commit more than 2,200 full weeks of community service each year to mentoring local high school students, to increasing voter turnout, and to helping survivors of Hurricane Katrina rebuild their lives. I'm very pleased that the inspiring director of the Fox Leadership Center, Professor John DiIulio, is here with us today. John, would you please stand up? Through Penn Civic House, which is our student-led community service and social advocacy center, our students acquire leadership skills in civic engagement that last a lifetime. Through Penn's Netter Center for Community Partnerships, Penn has pioneered academically based 4-credit service learning courses through which 2,500 undergraduate students every year combine what they learn in the classroom with what they learn from engaging students in our local elementary and secondary schools. We have here today Dr. Ira Harkavy, who is the head of our Center for Community Partnerships. Ira, would you please stand up? These programs and others like them enable more than 40% of Penn's 10,000 undergraduate students to engage in sustained service. They also have what I like to think of as a force multiplier effect. By strategically deploying our educational resources with the communities we serve, we expand the impact of our educational mission. That is why we are all here today, to create an ever greater force multiplier effect by encouraging more people to become citizens of ServiceNation. To increase this effect and to expand what we are already doing, Penn will fully fund an additional 400 community service opportunities for our students. These new opportunities will be allocated among our 3 nationally acclaimed service programs: the Netter Center, Fox Leadership, and Civic House. And each opportunity will be designed specifically to prepare our students for a lifetime of service leadership. True to our founders' wishes, we will keep the chain bright. We will continue to find new innovative ways to cultivate our students' inclination and our students' ability to serve. We will embed the ethos of civic engagement more deeply in the life of the university. And by joining forces with ServiceNation and all our community partners, we will continue to inspire more students to become active, lifelong citizens and leaders of an ever greater democracy. Thank you very much.
I'm Gloria Larson, president of Bentley College, soon to be Bentley University. We're located in Waltham, Massachusetts, and we're a leader nationally in business education and research. We offer undergraduate and graduate programs in business, liberal arts, business ethics, corporate social responsibility at both the undergraduate and graduate level, as well as PhDs in business and accountancy. What a huge honor it is to be here today with my fellow university colleagues, and to be here with so many committed individuals. When I look across this room, I just have to say, ServiceNation is in fabulous hands, and the future looks terrific. And what an honor it is personally, 1 year in my job, to announce a $1 million commitment in scholarships for Bentley students who participate in the Give a Year program with our phenomenal National Service Partners City Year. I hope you have the goosebumps that I have. Each year, as many as 10 Bentley students will receive $20,000 grants as Bentley National Service Scholars in recognition of their year of volunteer service with City Year. This 5-year commitment reflects our admiration and support for the work being done by City Year and their inspiring, phenomenal young volunteers, as well as our belief that business students at Bentley will be able to add tremendous value to City Year organizations. We have a very long history and commitment to service learning. Just like Tulane, it's in our DNA. Every year, more than 25% of our business students, more than 25% of our undergraduates are actively involved in service learning and community service. Together, Bentley and City Year can be more than the sum of the parts. Together, Bentley and City Year can make a huge difference in the lives of others. And together, Bentley and City Year can train and develop the next generation of highly skilled, ethical, and socially responsible business leaders. These are the ones who are going to want to contribute in communities near and far for the rest of their lives. Our hope and our belief is that many other academic institutions are going to follow today, tomorrow, and in the weeks to come. We have the huge honor of being the founding partner. I want to give up that title in about a New York second. I can't wait for scores of other schools across the nation, and heck, for our entire country to follow the lead of so many great folks with ServiceNation. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Stern, and I'm here as an engaged citizen because I'm not a university president, although I am flattered to rub elbows with such esteemed leaders, academic leaders. I'm chairman of the board of Tufts, and I am here subbing for my partner, Larry Bacow, who unfortunately is out of the country. But in our close relationship, as always, he has beaten me to the punch because he has already written about what I'm about to tell you about, which is on page 59 of Time magazine. But it's Tufts' commitment to establish a university-wide loan repayment assistance program to help graduates working in the nonprofit and public sector to pay part of their annual education loan bills. No one's going to give me a Nobel Prize when I tell you that we all know that many college students finish college with so much debt that they literally have to park their passion and follow their pocketbook in order to pay off their debts. Well, we want to change that, and our commitment is to make it possible for more Tufts graduates really to follow their dreams and really become engaged citizens from day one. And whether that's to teach for America or take an entry-level position in public health, that's where we're headed. And assistance with loan repayment, it's not new. It's worked successfully at several graduate schools, law schools, and business schools that I know of. But at Tufts, we're the only university that we're applying this approach to all levels, graduates, undergraduates. We don't care whether you're an engineering major or an arts major, whether you went to medical school or dental school. And our financial commitment is $500,000 a year at the start. And I will tell you, in my role as chairman of the board, it's an easy bet in an election year to say that number is going to go up. Interestingly, the first deadline for applications was just 10 days ago on September 1st. Over 400 alumni running across all university-wide schools have applied, and we expect to make 250 awards in the near future. Just a word again in an election year, just a little plug. The Loan Repayment Assistance Program is really a direct extension of our institutional commitment to educating students for lifetimes of active citizenships. That's really, I was going to say part of our DNA, but it's been used twice, so I'll call it part of our ethical genome. If a student wants to work for a community-based nonprofit organization, that's great, and we will teach that student to be an engaged citizen. But you know, a number of students want to become engineers or go into business, a mistake that might be in the current environment, but we will also teach them to be engaged citizens. It really is part of our culture. 10 years ago, we established what is now the Jonathan M. Tisch College of Citizenship and Public Service to serve as a catalyst and a resource for all departments within the university to really infuse everybody with active citizenship. John's here today, right in front of me. John, please. As I say frequently on our campus, there is no better example of an active and an engaged citizen. And through Tisch College, we've made public service really, it's university-centric. So I would encourage our fellow colleges and trustees to join us in making active and engaged citizenship a core commitment of higher education. Our loan repayment program is just a first step. And I will, too, close with a quote from one of our emeritus trustees, a man known to most of you, Brian O'Connell, who said that no leader or leadership institution, particularly no educator or educational institution, can presume that fostering citizenship, active citizenship, to prolong our democracy is someone else's business. Thank you.
On behalf of Service Nation, we want to express our gratitude to all of our university partners for your leadership and groundbreaking commitments. Thank you.